कृपा नदियाय जना कृतकरोमि तबे नो कृपा नदियाय जना कृतकरोमि शक्ति बुद्धिहीना আমি আছি দীনা শক্তি বুদ্ধিহীনা আমি আছি দীনা করো মোরে আত্মা করো মোরে আত্মা অজ্ঞাতা বিচারে কিছু নাহি পাই তোমার করুণা অজ্ঞাতা বিচারে কিছু নাহি পাই তোমার করুণা করুণা না হইলে কানিয়া কানিয়া করুণা না হইলে কানিয়া কানিয়া প্রাণ রাখিব প্রাণ রাখিব जय वैष्णव ठाकुर 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 वैष्णव ठाकुर जय वैष्णव हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे
So, Hare Krishna, it's my honor to introduce His Just Vidura Madhava Prabhu to all of us today. So we're very fortunate, a total family who are dedicated at the lotus feet of Guru Maharaj. So like you just saw how nicely Mataji just sang a wonderful rendition of a song dedicated to Guru Maharaj. Similarly, they have two wonderful kids, Lakshmi Priya Mataji and Pranesh Prabhu. Prabhu's parents, father is no more on this planet, and mother, both are also disciples of Guru Maharaj, and he pleases Guru Maharaj also by his wonderful preaching and reaching out a very reachable person. Look forward always for his association. So we are very happy, and today he's touching a wonderful topic as to how Guru Maharaj reaches out to all his disciples. So devotees he has so many disciples, so will he be able to reach out? Or is it only that the inner coterie will have that? Or what is it? So we are very fortunate that Prabhu will be sharing, I hope will be sharing his experiences and walking us through his personal realizations, and which will make our faith stronger. So maybe if I may request Prabhu that we can keep for an hour and then open up for some questions for a few minutes. Certain times devotees have, and then we could chant for some time for Guru Maharaj towards the end. So you may want to take it forward that way. Thank you again.
Thank you, Anadi Prabhu. Seek your
Your
blessings.
voice suddenly went low. I don't know. Oh, okay. It's my side, not your problem.
Okay. So seek your blessings and the blessings of all the assembled devotees. Before I speak, let me offer my prayers. Om Jnanatimrandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurgurmunitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Etinamine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshtarine. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swamin Itinamine. Nama Acharya Padaya Nitai Kripa Pradayine Gaurakata Damadayaka Nagara Gramatarine. Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Bangayate Girim Yatkripatamaham Vande Sri Gurun Dinatarinam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram Om Tat Sat. So I am very mindful that this forum has been of that of stalwarts who have served Guru Maharaj in various capacities. They have given their life to Guru Maharaj. So I have always been awed by the speakers who have spoken here. I've seen a few of them. Some I didn't see a lot of them though. So I'm very mindful that in this forum, if I am to speak, it's a great blessings. I don't know. I really would not have. I still don't have the confidence to speak in this particular forum. Nonetheless, I take it as a blessing, to be able to speak about the spiritual master. And anything which happens is always the desire of the Lord. So in that sense, it's a desire of the Lord of Srila Prabhupada and the blessings of Guru Maharaj. Therefore, I am daring to speak here. So please forgive me for any of my things which I may say something which is not the way it has to be understood. But forgive me and correct me wherever I am wrong. I will try to share on this, like Anadi Prabhu mentioned, or talk on the topic of how does Guru Maharaj keep in touch with all his disciples. Prabhu had put all in capital. So this can actually be a question mark, or it could be a statement. It's up to you. How do you interpret it? And as I speak, I will give my own version of, what I actually mean by it. It's a combination of both to my mind. It's more of how I see it, and also maybe there are some lessons which I think maybe a generalized statement which we can even see in that whole experience which I am able to share. Again, my experience with Guru Maharaj, while long, it is still very short. I will come to that a little later. So it's very less in that sense in terms of what I can narrate of direct personal experiences with Guru Maharaj. So bear with me on that front. I may not be able to give a lot of pastimes of Guru Maharaj, but whatever little I have, I will share with you all. So this, the topic which I mentioned, So to give a little bit more information about me, which is also part of the narrative, I came in touch with ISKCON, underline the word in touch with ISKCON sometime in 1987 or 1990. So from then on, I was in Chennai at that point in time, and His Grace Nandkumar Prabhu, he's Sri Vallabh Prabhu's brother, if you all, a lot of you may know him, a wonderful Kirtaniya, and a wonderful personality himself. Their entire family were such great personalities in devotional service to Guru Maharaj, particularly also. His father, Mahamani Krishna Prabhu. So he, maybe his initial blessings, he used to, Re Kolandaya, like that, he used to call me. And he tried to somehow instill Krishna consciousness in all of us in some way. And Nandu was was my classmate. We were in 10th or 12th, something like that. So that's the first time I came in contact with Krishna consciousness, and slowly got drawn into, as all of us did, got drawn into Srila Prabhupada's books. Banu Maharaj took control of our, the direction. I was part of the youth services there. Only remember many of those devotees there, and everybody were very inspiring to help us all in Krishna consciousness. So this was my initial days, but somehow I was a little slippery person. Devotees will I will like to engage, but the minute someone puts in a little bit of a or at least I assume that a pressure has been put on me, and I will give the slip, So my impression at those days were okay, if you really get a little more closer into the devotees, then you may suddenly have to completely become a full-timer kind of a thing. And I had a lot of anarthas in me, so I didn't want to become fully spiritualized, if I may say so. So I would be a little slippery that way. So I used to be part of all services. I used to chant. I used to follow regulative principles by nature. Somehow, by blessings of the lordships, we have been in a family which didn't have any of the which breaks the principle. So in that sense, we were brought up like that. So I didn't have any of those things, but I was always like an outside person, but an inside person, that kind of a person. So I used to be there. I was doing a lot of things. I used to do a lot of service. So many engagement. I have had wonderful relationship with all devotees. But somehow, why I spoke all this thing is that somehow I was not drawn into the mainstream of ISKCON. That means becoming aligned to the parampara. That means you also one day desire to take up initiation. Then you follow the parampara in that order. Even though I appreciated Srila Prabhupada and I used to read Prabhupada's books very nicely, so many things like that. But at the end of the day, I was not somewhere that I was not able to connect to take up initiation. In the parampara. Maybe I don't know. I don't want to go deeper because I may blabber something. So this was going on for a long time. And as you become more and more complicated, then it becomes even more difficult to actually align yourself. If you put in 20 years, there are sometimes we see some devotees fall off for a long time. Then when someone says, go and preach to him, say what to preach to him, he knows everything, how to convince him. That's always a challenge there. People face that kind of thing. So as you become more complicated, you start building your own speculative thinking about a lot of stuff. So this was going on for a long period of time, and I then shifted to Bangalore and came in association with devotees here. In that sense, Varada Krishna Prabhu, president of Lakshmana Simha Temple, he was very close to me in the sense, he used to sort of guide me in so many things in those beginning days. So he once told me, you do everything, you are very sincere and all that, but you just want to roam around with the girl, you don't want to marry her. Then that really stuck me very hard on my head. Yeah, is it not true? 20 years I have been with ISKCON, but I don't want to align with with how we should actually do things, right? And why I have not been progressing. That's the other angle to it, right? 20 years I've been gone, but I am not. I see so many of them in 4 years, 5 years, they became very advanced. So how come that I am lacking in all these things? So these things actually struck me very hard, and that's when I started thinking, okay, this is what. So I started all my association very regularly. And in that process, I also started thinking about initiation. So then comes the question, okay, I followed the process, even though I was chanting 16 rounds even before. Little crazy character in that sense, if you really see, say you will chant 16 rounds, you follow regulative principles, but you don't want to take initiation and all that. So I don't know. So, but nonetheless, it did happen that way. Then I started thinking whom should be the spiritual master. So that's the context in the whole thing, what I was. So at that point in time, again, because of so much of complications in our head, or rather in my head, I was thinking whom to choose. Actually, I have had exposure to many spiritual masters in ISKCON. I've seen a lot of them that way. Even our own spiritual master is Jayapataka Maharaj. In Chennai, in the Rath Yatra, Guru Maharaj used to come. In those days, sometimes he will carry one big staff, what you call that, it should be big, and he used to have that, and he used to come, and then he used to dance in the Rath Yatra between those two ropes which we used to pull. And I also remember that I have also danced with him there. So I was very comfortable with Guru Maharaj, as a person, what a majestic personality, if he's towering personality, who be just that smile on his face, everything was so immediately captivating to you. So I have seen him up close in those days. But also I have seen other disciples of Srila Prabhupada. All of them are gems, perfect gems. Even though I did not think of initiation, I knew all of them as perfect personalities. So there were a couple of things in going in my mind, whom should I look for as a spiritual master? It's as though I am doing them a favor by becoming a disciple, that kind of a thinking. So whom should I choose? Should it be this Maharaj? Should it be that Maharaj? This kind of thinking. And then I planned, okay, with this Maharaj, with me in relation to that Maharaj, how things go, how the compatibility, this kind of thinking was there. And I will stick to our spiritual master, Guru Maharaj. So I knew he's he's someone who's actually can accommodate all kinds of characters. Irrespective of what is their stature, he has the ability to just, not that others don't have, but it's more about how you connect to the person. So I had that strength, very strong conviction that Guru Maharaj can just pick us up and then purify us. But at the same time, I had this doubt. Okay, he is such a, what do you call, famous spiritual master who has, I don't know, at that time, I don't know, maybe 45,000 disciples, maybe he would have had. And we have seen, right, wherever he's there, you can't even get a glimpse of him because he's covered all over by so many devotees, and all the big who's who of ISKCON or the particular temple and all will be there, So where will we be able to find after, so many, I may be I don't know what number of disciple I am. How is it that I can get, the association of the spiritual master? So that was one thing which was there. Everything else I felt was perfect, but this one, how is it possible? Without having any connect, will he have time for me? Will he look at me at all? And who am I in that whole thing? There are so many Jambavans there in our, in God Brothers are there, and they have done amazing services to him. And naturally, there will be so many interactions with them. He will not have time for someone like me, such a chotu in the hierarchy. So this was in my mind, and he will not be able to connect with me. So how do I, So this was on my mind. So with this block in my head, I was there, and my nature is also that, generally when we see some Maharaj and all coming, we go little far wherever to take association. But somehow I was little, if they come to our city where I am there, I will go, but I will not go all the way to Coimbatore or other places and all that. So Vardha Krishna Prabhu somehow knew this, that, I'm maybe little not committal to things that, So Coimbatore Rath Yatra came. And but I am very, generally I'm obliging. I will generally not say no to people, that kind of thing. So he called me and he said, Vaidya, my name is Vaidya Subramanian, my whatever legal name. So he called, Vaidya, I want to take devotees to, no, not Coimbatore, Chennai. Yeah, so this was Chennai, sorry. So he said, I want to take, that time Guru Maharaj, see, this is all post his, post Guru Maharaj's, what do you call the attack, I think 2006, 2008, 2008, it is all post that period. So he had come after a long time and he's coming to South India and he was coming to Chennai. And therefore we all said, he had come here also to Bangalore at one point in time. And later he was there in Chennai. So he said, I am going to take some devotees. So why don't you, I need a driver. Why don't you come? Temple Omni was there and not Omni, Eco, Temple Eco was there. And he said, why don't you drive? I said, okay, let me drive and come there that way. So he took me there and I was going, and on the way, the vehicle was loaded with a lot of Matajis. Balakrishna Prabhu was, of course, there, and then his wife was there, and then there were so many Matajis were there. And all along the way, they were all nicely talking about Guru Maharaj's pastimes. So many pastimes they were talking, it was still green in my mind. So many of them, they were talking all of these things, and I was listening to them, and I was just going there. So I think we went to, I think it's a center in Perambur. So we went there, and so in my mind, remember that the point is, my hurdle is that Guru Maharaj is difficult to connect with Guru Maharaj, someone who is a very junior devotee. In that sense, I represent many devotees who have taken initiation from Guru Maharaj post his, what do you call the attacks, right? 2008 attack, post that, right? I represent that generation of devotees. And, the commoners, if I may say so, right? Thing. I represent that kind of, and we have many, right? I saw in Bangladesh, Guru Maharaj, I don't know, few thousands on one instance he initiated. So that's the kind of devotees who have come into the fold of Guru Maharaj under his shelter after his 2008 episode. So and I was there in that Perambur temple, and we all know this because of his difficult bodily situation. If he says 7 o'clock, the temple program will start, invariably Guru Maharaj will have so many difficulties to make it there in that time. So much getting, I've heard Guru Maharaj, if he's he's fully dressed up and he's ready, and at that point in time, if he has to visit the restroom for some reason, and then if you come back, then he goes through the entire full process again, takes bath, and then sometimes they offer tilak all over his body, and suddenly he will ask, did you apply? No, I apply in my back. They say no, means remove everything, again do everything fully. That kind of perfection Guru Maharaj has, I've heard from his servants, senior devotees. So there's a little bit of a delay in his coming. So we were all doing kirtan, and the momentum was building up nicely. We were all wonderfully, that moment when Guru Maharaj will come, we were all waiting. At that time, Sumitra Krishna Prabhu, he is the president of the Chennai temple even now. He was then also. So he actually came and stopped the kirtan, and he said, Guru Maharaj has started and he is on his way. But as he is coming, he just told me to make an announcement here. So, and he said, Guru Maharaj asked me to announce here that whoever wants to take aspiration from him, they can actually give their names now, because Guru Maharaj wants to keep in touch with you, right? So he asked specifically, give me your phone number, give me your email ID, and your address, whatever, like that. The form was, he asked us, right? There is no prepared form, but he asked us to write all these details and give. And that immediately gave me one kind of, what do you call, a shockwave in my head. Here I am thinking that the Guru Maharaj will not be able to connect with me, will not be able to keep in touch with me. But here is the spiritual master telling me that I will keep in touch with you, just give me your coordinates. That was something which was very, it's like, these are things which are very subtle, right? One can say, no, this is, you are already in that mood and all that. But I also gave you my background. I'm not someone who will quickly decide things like that. I take a lot of time, any decision, people know me, I take a lot of time. But then these are subtle things which happens not by under your control, which happens under the control of the which is, I mean, I don't know. It's and by Guru Maharaj's mercy, by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, by Krishna's mercy, these things just manifest. We just have to just be little bit aware of the subtle messages we should be able to get. Is what was my realization at that point in time. Then I looked at my wife. My wife was pretty simple. Like, she said, why are you delaying like this? Like, after coming to Bangalore, she was very eager. Like, let's take initiation. Why are you delaying, so long like this? So, so I was sitting there. She was there on the Mataji. She was sitting there, and then I just looked at her, and somehow she nodded also. So she got the message that I'm thinking in this direction, and she was very happy that I am finally coming to this decision that I want to think of fixing up on one spiritual master, particularly His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Guru Maharaj. So then Guru Maharaj came, and we all stood up. Mind you, this generally I have seen this aspiration thing happens generally before initiation. The initiation was planned the next day in the main temple in Chennai, in the Chambakam temple. This is Perambur center. So generally it doesn't happen like that. But that day, particular day, he just said, I want to. So many times he comes and gives a class in many temples and he goes away. He doesn't say, okay, all those who are interested in aspiring from me, please get up. But that day, this message came, and then I thought this is for me only that this has happened. So I immediately stood up and I said, Guru Maharaj, I stood up there, and then they said, okay, you chant Guru Maharaj Pranam Mantra, offered flowers. So this happened, and that was a very memorable day for me. The next day, I went to Injambakam temple, and Guru Maharaj is there. And there again, they said, all of you, those who are aspiring, please stand up. And that was like, free, like, a big temple, a lot of space was there. So we were, free means many devotees were there, but we were all seated very comfortably without any hustle bustle like that. So then I stood up, and I was there, right, maybe, some 30 feet directly in front of Guru Maharaj. And then Guru Maharaj looked from head to toe like this. And I felt very uncomfortable like that when he was looking at me like that. Then when I was coming back, I shared with my wife, Guru Maharaj looked like this. She said, yes, I noticed also that he looked at you from head to. And that particular one instance actually has changed my whole life, in a sense. From then on, I started connecting with Guru Maharaj very frequently. Like, so many occasions he kept coming to Bangalore. I used to go to other places to see him, which has never happened earlier. Even if it means going to the airport and seeing him, right? I used to go and take his darshan and come. And there were many such simple interactions which used to happen. And interactions means someone will say, I spoke this to Guru Maharaj spoke this to me. For me, interactions means just an eye contact. That's all. If he just looks at you with his eyes, at your eyes, I think that transforms the whole thing for the devotee. And that keeps you charged up for an year. That's something which I, every time, even now, I experience that. Even now means after 6 years of initiation, I think even now, every time once he sees me with his eyes, that gives that kind of a charging which can go on for an year like that. He's not that, it's just that his potency is like that. It's his potency. Whether I'm capable of receiving it or not is a completely different story. But his potency is there like that. If he sees someone like that, then there are transformation happens inside them like that. So he kept having such, giving me such kind of associations on many occasions like this. So this was going on. And sometime in 2014, I actually write a Vyasa Puja message for Srila Prabhupada. I have this here with me. This was a Vyasa Puja offering I gave to Srila Prabhupada on the 12th of August 2014, 7:42 p.m. I don't know if it's visible. So this is the time when I sent a Vyasa Puja offering to the temple. I don't know who it was, or it was the temple ID, sjmb.vp@gmail.com. So I sent it to this particular ID, and I enclose the Word document of for that. Where it is, where I had made one particular prayer to Srila Prabhupada. I just read that particular paragraph there. Then you will be able to understand what I'm going to tell you. So there I say, even though I had not raised my level and quality to be initiated into ISKCON for many years, I have remained within the fold of ISKCON and fully brought into the teachings, into your teachings. in the last few years, your spiritual son, Srila Jayapataka Swami Maharaja, by his costless mercy, has given me shelter under his lotus feet. I am now trying hard to qualify to take initiation. However, with all my anarthas and my degraded condition, I realize that it is next to impossible for me to qualify. Hence, I beg for your mercy, Srila Prabhupada, that I could get initiated into your family formally and begin my journey back home, back to Godhead. So this was one particular paragraph I had written to Srila Prabhupada. I was, I think, desperate at that point in time. Actually, the first instance I spoke was the aspiration. Then later I had taken shelter also. And after shelter, again, there was a gap of 1.5 years, or I don't know, 2 years, I think. 2 years I was still, I will talk about that, why I was hesitating even then. But nonetheless, again, all in relation to Guru Maharaj, how he broke each of my barrier like that, and he gave me that protection. So this was in August of 2014. I write to Srila Prabhupada. You all know, if you go back and check the calendar, possibly, I think that was a time when after this, Guru Maharaj was in this Delhi hospital where he had his kidney problems. So I think, was it lungs or liver? Sorry, not kidney, liver. It was his liver challenges. He was in that Delhi hospital. I think he was there for a month or so, like that, right? So I was desperate, like, it is like this situation, particularly for my father. Actually, after I took up Krishna consciousness, my parents also took up. My father was at that time 65, close to 70, whatever. But as I started preaching, he started taking up Krishna consciousness seriously. And maybe he would have been 70, not even 70, maybe around 80 by the time when we got initiated. I'm talking about this 2014. And my father was also feeling that, he was saying, Guru Maharaj is in the hospital like this, will I ever get the initiation? He was speaking like this. So for me also, if I can somehow get my father initiated, what else I can do as a son like this? So I was praying desperately to Srila Prabhupada. This is in August of 2014. And in January 2015, Guru Maharaj actually came directly from this Delhi hospital to Chennai. Anybody who would have, ideally someone would have been in that condition would have gone back to Mayapur, taken some rest, recouped himself very nicely, and then taken up further service. But here he is coming directly from Delhi. To my memory, I really strongly remember he didn't go to Mayapur. He came directly from Delhi to Chennai. I think later he went to Mayapur. Maybe he went to another place and all that. But then I still vividly remember this, that he came directly from there, and then he gave initiation. Now, in this, I just want to add. So here is, I am thinking Guru Maharaj will not be able to connect with me. Now, I will talk to you all how Guru Maharaj connects at various levels, not only to me, but everything connected to me. And he showed me, don't ever think that, I will not connect with any of you. So that happened. And then at that time, Anukul Prabhu was merciful. He said, since it is happening in Chennai, the initiation, your parents are very old, 80 plus, and then he had some immobility problems and all that. He said, no, so I will speak to Guru Maharaj and request him that, they can be initiated in absentia. So he then spoke and he said, Vaidya, I have told Guru Maharaj, you don't have to go. So, your parents don't have to go, you go. So then we went there, and then Guru Maharaj gave me and my wife initiation. And then I was asking Guru Maharaj, please give me the initiation beads for my parents. So Guru Maharaj was not letting go. He was saying something which I could not understand. So then Madhava Prabhu was there, who was his, at that time, assistant or secretary, whatever you call him. I don't know the designation that he was managing at that point in time. So then I looked at him saying, no, Guru Maharaj is not giving, and I don't know what he's saying. Also, I'm not able to understand like that. So I looked at him, and then he said, he then heard Guru Maharaj, and then he told me, the Guru Maharaj is saying, they have not taken the oath. So how can I give the beads? So Madhav Prabhu then immediately said, no, Guru Maharaj, I will take the oath from them on the phone. You please give him the beads. Then Guru Maharaj gave me the beads. Then Madhava Kant Prabhu. Then I called up my parents individually. Each one of them spoke and gave the the initiation oath to him, and then the whole thing was completed. Now this happens on that. Then we all returned back to Chennai, returned back to Bangalore, and the day or next day, Anukul Prabhu again calls me. He says, Vaidya, Guru Maharaj called me and spoke to me about all your initiation. I said, oh, very nice. So then he says, actually, Guru Maharaj told me your parents got initiated, but they had not performed the yajna there. So in fact, when I was performing, I had kept 2 more additional this one, and I was performing for their behalf also, myself from my point of view. But Guru Maharaj said they had not performed this yajna. Therefore, my request is for you to get that yajna performed in your temple. And then you perform the Purnahuti on my behalf. So he said, when do you want to have it? I said, Prabhu, I'm grateful whenever you want to, organize, I am grateful. So then the next day was actually, we had organized 64 round chanting in our temple. I think it's Namacharya Haridas Thakur's, it was Advaita Acharya's Prabhu's birthday, appearance day. So on that day, we had 64 round chanting in the temple, and after that, the yajna was performed, and Anukul Prabhu, offered the Purnahuti on behalf of Guru Maharaj. So just imagine Guru Maharaj. There were hundreds of us who were taking initiation, and there were second initiation, and he was actually not well. We had Rath Yatra the previous day. Chennai always January. This is the time, we had our initiation anniversary a few days back on Bogi Day. So Guru Maharaj was so tired, and all of his condition is so bad, but he was very clear about every small aspect of the process, not to miss out on anything. And then to call back later and also say, no, this aspect has to be done, that kind of mercy, that actually floored me like anything. Here is a spiritual master who we think who will not connect with you, but he's looking at every small things in that, and then taking care of it. That happened. Then later, in a few months' time, it was an evening time. I was going to my office, and then Guru Maharaj, my wife suddenly in an excited way calls me up. I am driving on the way to office, and she calls up on the cell and then says, I got a call from Mayapur. Call from Mayapur. Whom do we have in Mayapur that they will be calling like this? Because I have no connection anywhere. I'm simply a commoner as far as ISKCON is concerned. So I said, who called you from Mayapur? He said, no. The person from the other side said he is calling from Guru Maharaj's office. Then I was also excited. What is it that they wanted actually? He said, no, they asked for Krishna Karunakara Das. So Krishna Karunakara Das, by the way, is my father's initiated name. And they said they actually want to speak to Krishna Karunakara. Guru Maharaj wants to speak to Krishna Karunakara Das. She was little surprised what to do. What did you say? I asked, so what did he speak? He says he wants to speak to him. I told him he cannot speak English like that. And I was telling her, no, why don't you tell them that, it's okay if he doesn't know English, but nonetheless, he can speak in Tamil and you can do the translation for Guru Maharaj. Why don't you call back and tell? So I think she did call back and tell them. But somehow the call never came later. But the point is, I do not know where from that, this kind of a program is there that Guru Maharaj is calling someone who has no administrative or any specific service which he's known him by name or anything like that. He may not have even seen him like that. In fact, he has not even seen him other than a photo which I gave during the initiation. I don't know if he would have even, otherwise, he has never seen him that way. But how did he, why did he want to connect with my father and speak to him? I don't know. But that is something which is here I am thinking Guru Maharaj will not connect. But there Guru Maharaj is connecting to my father. Then it so happened that, he extended that further and further and further. This connection, he was making a point again and again and again to me. He was, there were like, then I started doing a lot of programs, Bhakti Vriksha programs like this and all that. So we did have a lot of devotees also coming for our Bhakti Vriksha program, and we were taking care of devotees. So there was one Mataji, she may be here, I'm not sure. So she had come joined, she had come from Australia and she had come here. And she, with 2-3 months, she was there with us here, and then she got married and then she shifted to US. So before she went to US, I had taken her once. Guru Maharaj was here in Bangalore, and I had taken along with our congregation, and some of my team members were taking aspiration at that point in time, including, I think, Pranesh, my son, was taking aspiration at that point in time. So she said, can I also come? And I said, please come and join us. She came there, and she was seeing the whole thing up close, whatever. And then later when we came back, she told me, Prabhuji, it was all very nice. I felt very nice, but somehow I didn't feel very, like, feel like myself also asking for an aspiration like that. Is it okay? Like that she was saying, no, it's perfectly okay. What is there? The idea was generally that Guru Maharaj was coming. It was a common program. It's the GBC. So we went there not with any intention of, making everybody take aspiration there. That was not the intent. So she was okay, comfortable. Then she came. And then she went to US. She got married. She went to US. Then Guru Maharaj was in the US sometime. Then at that point in time, that some schedule was there. Some very high level schedule was there. So I had just put that schedule in WhatsApp. I didn't even know which city she was in US, and in whichever city Guru Maharaj was knowing whether she would be there or not. I don't know. I just sent it to her. And then she tells me, she once calls me very excitedly and said, Prabhuji, I went and met Guru Maharaj. He said, what? How did you go and meet Guru Maharaj? Then she said, yes, actually, he went to another place somewhere there, and she is new to US. She had somewhere gone there and she lost the way. She had come back. And then she somehow called up the person in whose house Guru Maharaj. She found out somehow whose house he's staying. And then he spoke to him, took direction, and went the second day. So she goes there, and then she, unlike Bangalore, maybe in America, you can take little, free darshan of Guru Maharaj, I think. So when she went there, she went to Guru Maharaj, and she was just standing in front of him. She started crying. She was telling me that. And I was started crying, and I could not say anything. Whatever I tried to say, I'm getting more and more of tears, and I'm not able to control my emotion. Then Guru Maharaj said, why don't you please sit down next to me for some time, get your emotions under control, then we can speak. Then he made her sit right next to him, and then he was meeting other devotees. So this went on for an hour or so. After that, then he said, are you okay now? And then he said, okay, now let's speak. So then she spoke like, she said, I can take her name. This is a nice thing, nothing. So she said, her name is Mayuri. So she said, my name is Mayuri. And then Guru Maharaj said, do you know the meaning of Mayuri? And, he started having us very engaging with her in a nice, simple conversation, and was giving her so much of mercy that she's then, that one instance, that's all. She's completely connected with him even today. So this happened. And then there has been many, she used to have interaction with Guru Maharaj whenever he comes to us. Like, unlike us here and all, we are even afraid to go and stand in front of Guru Maharaj. But maybe she was new in that sense, and she didn't have this, whatever, maybe some older people, we sort of develop a kind of a wall. I don't know. She was very free with Guru Maharaj, so that she was actually speaking. So in that sense, once she asked, I think Guru Maharaj, that, Guru Maharaj, I used to also visit Bhakti Vriksha programs, and I used to take part like that. And she had told, I actually go to Vidura Madhava Prabhu's program. You may be knowing him like this. Who was Vidura Madhava? That's that Guru Maharaj will, I mean, nobody, in that thing, whatever. But then Guru Maharaj was silent for a brief half a minute or whatever, I believe. And then he nodded, she told me. So she was excited, and she told me this. And I was that immediately struck me. Here I am thinking Guru Maharaj will not connect with me. And here he's shaking his head saying that I know him. And then he's connecting with next generation, whomever I am, trying to give Krishna consciousness to, he's connecting with those people also. And the message was very clear. You simply follow my instructions. you align yourself to Srila Prabhupada and the Parampara and do your duty, and I will do my duty. Like, it means I will automatically give shelter to whomever you are preaching to. That's something which is amazing. That message came to me that, if you are simply following his Vani, right, then he's there with you all the time. He's there with you. This is something which struck me that day. I remember I was speaking to her standing in one of the balconies, and this stuck to my head that, like, you simply perform your devotional service sincerely, and I am there with you to uh, actually fructify all your devotional efforts. So that was there. That's a message which I got all the way from, I don't know, 3,000 miles away from my place. Guru Maharaj gives me this kind of a message. And she's just a new person, right? And then he had told her, actually, he had specifically told her, Mayuri, you should write to me very often, because she had been emotional, right? And that she understood. He could immediately make a picture of her, what is her, plus, minus, everything he has already diagnosed very nicely, which I generally take time to find out from people, whomever we are mentoring. But here he is in one what do you call, one meeting, he completely diagnoses the person. And then he had given very wonderful tips to her, which I was giving to her, like, certain things, like, I don't want to go into the details. But in just that one meeting, he had given similar instructions to her. And one of that was, he was saying, you please keep in touch with me, please write emails to me, right? So that's something which is amazing. And later, sometime when she was there, he was there in US, and he was about to go inside that airport, whatever, you go into that area where beyond which you cannot, non-traveling persons cannot go. He was almost there, and then he called Mayur. He called her, Mayuri, come here. And then he gave her some specific instruction after, just before boarding the flight. This kind of association he was giving to devotees, whatever level you are maybe a temple president, or you are a personal servant, or, or someone who's just initiated of the 50,000, 50,250 or whatever. No, that doesn't matter to him. Everybody in his eyes are the same level of importance for him, and that's something which I could feel. And how he connects is one more angle which I just wanted to also highlight. We all say, right, in spiritual life, it may sometimes look sentimental, but I think this gathering here are all devotees who are, who are into Krishna consciousness. They understand this. The spiritual master connects with us in our dreams, right? I mean, his way of connecting, if we have 50,000, 60,000 people, sometimes it's not that, you can call up everybody, 50,000 people in he was trying to do that also. Otherwise, how did my father get that call? But I'm saying, it is possible that it may happen that it's possible that some devotees may not get connected. But then I am very sure most of us, or all of us, would have had Guru Maharaj coming in our dreams. It will not be completely anywhere related. He can just suddenly appear in your dream. Nothing that, yesterday I thought about Guru Maharaj, I was thinking about Guru Maharaj, or I did something in relation to Guru Maharaj, nothing. He suddenly appears in your dream, and it has happened to me twice. Once when I was there, I was just sleeping, and I narrate all these dreams to my wife then and there. Like, the next day morning, I will narrate to her. Both occasions, I will talk to about two things, and I had narrated it then, not that I'm saying today. So one occasion, it was like, these dreams you can't really make out why, but there is some message in all of that. Like, you were, Guru Maharaj was nicely walking and all that. So I'm sitting, let's say, like this, just behind me, there's a wall. And I don't know why. It's a dream in that sense. So Guru Maharaj was to pass from this side to that side. And I am just sitting there, not moving, or I don't know, there's no space in front of me or whatever. So Guru Maharaj puts one leg here, and then he is coming that side. And on way, he puts his leg right on my back. Fully, he puts it on my back. That I felt that's something which is like, it's like really I'm feeling Guru Maharaj putting his leg on my back. So that was one instance. And very recently, I got affected by COVID. This was two months back. And just maybe a week before that or something, one day I was lying down, and then I said, I had a very crazy dream today with Guru Maharaj. I said, what is it? I was telling my wife. I said, I was, sitting there, and I see Guru Maharaj was actually lying on the cot there actually. And Guru Maharaj says, you come and embrace me. I said, what? Guru Maharaj suddenly asking me to embrace him. Then he was lying down there. So I just bend over and, just go over his shoulder and his chest actually. And he puts his hand over my back and pats me twice or thrice like that. So this is that's all it was the dream. I don't even know why it came. I was saying, this is a crazy dream. Guru Maharaj hugged me today like that, I was telling. So within a week, I actually fell ill because of COVID, and it was not, some people are asymptomatic, but I had 15 days of I didn't go to hospital though, but it was quite, intermediary level of infection. I had heavy fever and all of that. But I don't know, because Guru Maharaj embraced me and he protected me that day. That's what was the message, which I later realized something like this happened. So this is one instance. Then subsequently, with my son, it's just a young child, how he's connecting again and again, showing me here, Vidura Madhava Das. I mean what I'm saying, this is Guru Maharaj's message to me. My son used to draw nice pictures of many deities, and anytime any Maharaj comes to the temple, he will go and show it, and then immediately Maharajas will be very happy. Some of the Maharajas will put him on his laptop. He was that time very young child. He used to put him on Maharajas used to put him on the lap like this, and all that will happen. So I was thinking, will he get this kind of attention from my spiritual master? Like, again, the most busiest of spiritual masters. Will he get that kind of a mercy? He's able to go to every initiating master or any sannyasis who are coming. He's intimately able to speak to them like this. Will he get that? So when he came to Bangalore once, we were all sitting as groups like this in Hebal, one of the halls. And then once the program got over, there's so much of organized, I was part of things. So I was rushing. We're all, in fact, me, my wife, my daughter, everybody, we rushed out. But somehow my son was somewhere in that group, and Sudhir Chaitanya Prabhu, I don't know what happened or whatever. Sudhir Chaitanya Prabhu got hold of my son. He took him in front of Guru Maharaj and said, Guru Maharaj, this boy is a wonderful drawer. He draws very nice paintings of the Lord like that. And my son always has, those days he was always has to have one picture of what he has drawn in his thing. So he immediately took one of that and showed it to Guru Maharaj. That was a Narasimha painting, I think he had done. Mayapur Narasimha. He took that picture and he put it on his head. Guru Maharaj put that picture on his head, and then he took his garland and put it on Pranesh. So, and then Pranesh kept running with the garland. I said, where did you get this garland? No, Guru Maharaj gave me this garland like this. So he connected with my son also downline. So with my father, with myself, with my son, and my team of devotees. And okay, I have another few minutes there. I will just try to, another few minutes to 9. I will try to add 1 or 2 more instances. And this thinking about, I was saying, right, we are trying to choose our spiritual master. It is not that we choose our spiritual master. They choose us. Krishna chooses the spiritual master for us, and the spiritual master chooses us. It's not like we do it. There's one other case of one more devotee from our team. He was actually, maybe he was, whatever, he was having the thought of taking initiation of another spiritual master like this. As a policy, I never preach to anybody and say, you have to take initiation from my spiritual master. Right? Now, that's the standard for Bhakti Vriksha, and I want to follow it to the core. If they express their desire that, I want to take initiation from Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, then I will completely, be happy. But not that I won't be happy otherwise, but I will not go and say, canvas, you take initiation. If they take, I'm most happy. But otherwise, I will facilitate this. So he, I think, said, yeah, he said, I said, fine, that's okay, like that. And then one day he comes to me and tells me, Prabhu, actually, I had a dream today. What is that dream? He says, Prabhu, I had this dream that I was thinking of one person, one spiritual master, and I'm seeing he's walking away from me. I'm trying to go behind him. He's walking away from me. And then, but I see Jayapataka Maharaj coming to me and saying that I am there, no, for you, why you worry? This is something which was shocking to me, but nonetheless, it happened. So then I said, I'm very happy that, you are also coming into the fold of Jayapataka Maharaj. So that way, he is still, he's aspiring and he's trying to perfect, come to that point of initiation. So this is all amazing things, Guru Maharaj is connecting with different people wherever he is. Doesn't matter how many ever disciples he has, it doesn't matter. He simply giving his mercy just like what you call a reservoir, right? Just flowing there all across wherever we can just, if you can just get hold of it somewhere, then we are back home, back to Godhead. I remember Kripamaya Prabhu once told me when I was before my initiation some time back. So he told me, Prabhu, once Guru Maharaj told him, you can verify if Kripamaya Prabhu is there, he may validate this. He told me, Guru Maharaj said, my disciples, they will either go back in this life or worst case next life. Can you imagine? Who can give such a guarantee? And I remember Mahavaraha Prabhu once saying, he was giving a wonderful class on, Guru Maharaj's pastimes. So it was a very mature class. It was not generally about events. It was a very mature class that day he gave, intricacies of things. So he was saying, we as disciples, who are personal servants, who are like very intimately close to him, so it may happen that their legs also sometimes may touch on Guru Maharaj like that, because they are very close to him. So he said, sometimes, devotees become very casual. They get up on the bed and then, do such things like that. But it's a service, it's fine. But then sometimes we need to be very mindful. That time he used that word. We do not know who he is. We need to be very careful. He used this word. We do not know who he is. We need to be careful. We also know he didn't mean that he did. Guru Maharaj has, Guru Maharaj had, we all know, like Prabhupada had mentioned, he is an associate of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But still, there is still, we do not know within that who he is. We cannot take him for granted. That's something which with Mahavaraha Prabhu mentioned. So he's got such potency, and he's there to deliver his mercy to all of us. So my strong conviction is that we should not worry about anything. That how can we connect to Guru Maharaj? He's so busy. Nothing. We simply take his shelter, and we are going back home to Godhead, provided we follow our initiation vows, and then we try to connect and be loyal to the Guru Parampara. We simply follow the process, and then we are back home, back to Godhead. So it's 9 o'clock now. I think I will stop. There are a few more. I thought I may not have much to speak of Guru Maharaj, but I think there was quite something. There are one or two more there. How he, without you having to say anything, he understands. He knows what's in your mind. There are a couple such instances which happened. I'll just quickly tell one. Because I will finish that whole connection, because with my wife and daughter also. So there was, I think in Coimbatore, we had all gone to our Rath Yatra, and my wife and daughter, they were sitting there, and it was late in the evening, and Guru Maharaj was giving a class, and at some point in time, he almost finished, and he said, okay, they made an announcement, the dinner is going on parallelly, you can all have, or something like that. So, but Guru Maharaj was speaking, so they were sitting there, not comfortable leaving when he's speaking. But at some point in time, they felt very hungry, they got up, and then they sat back like that. Guru Maharaj somewhere, he just looked directly at them and then said, if you are hungry, you can all go to. This is not like, just 4 people sitting there. There's a huge crowd, many people were sitting. And then here he is so subtly, quickly connecting and then saying, if you're hungry, you can go and have. They just stood up and sat down. You don't know why you stood up, but he can immediately understand what's happening in your mind. So like this, many things happen. Many devotees would have shared such wonderful pastimes of Guru Maharaj. Due to lack of time, I'm stopping here. I've gone a little overboard. Forgive me for the stretching it a little bit, and for any offenses I have done in the process of trying to enthusiastically share. I may have made some mistakes. Forgive me for that. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I thought you will say one more.
Prabhu?
I thought Prabhu will say one more.
Okay, one more. I have, I think, one more thing. Okay, I will now talk about one more aspect of thing. He even connected with my would-be son-in-law. That's something, amazing, right? So my daughter recently got engaged, and then Guru Maharaj is, so specific in so many things, right? As a disciple, I write to him saying, Guru Maharaj, my daughter is getting married. That time I had written saying, I had seen how Guru Maharaj, what instructions he has given when we have to look at marrying, for our children that way. So he had given it's there in the Facebook. Everybody can see. In 2 years back, he had given a complete details of what the process to be followed for doing a match. So I wrote to him. I did see that, and I did follow that process to a great extent. Then I go and write to him that Guru Maharaj, I have seen your Facebook post, and I have done these things like this. Then, okay, my expectation at the time was a simple reply back thing, accept my blessings, right? A one-liner. If I had got that, even if he had read it, I would have been happy. I didn't expect a response, really, actually speaking. Even if he read it, that's a big blessing for me. But if he writes, that is even more. Simply writing, I expected was, my blessings. That's all. But then he writes back to me saying, I have already written, I have followed the process, but he didn't take it at face value. He went one more step and asked me one question. Have you asked them to do the questionnaire, which I have? I was shocked. I didn't get that questionnaire done. What to do? I only made him, I did ask both the parties that, what are your preferences, what are your these things and all. And I did mediation and I said, okay, this is all fine. So, but I didn't ask them to fill up a questionnaire and then share with each other and all that. So, but Guru Maharaj asked, there are something like 300 and odd questions there. But one section of it, which actually said, in the marriage, what you will give and what you will take, right? There's one section which is specific to that. And he said, you ask them to do that one. And he explained that sections, what does it mean like that? Then I went to, because by that time I had committed, committed to the boy and then, the parents that, we are going to go ahead with this thing. Now, how can I go back and say now I want you to do both of you, including my daughter, right? Go and tell them, you have to do a question. But then Guru Maharaj just said it, I have no choice. I just went back to them. I said, Prabhu, forgive me. But actually, our Guru Maharaj said, why don't you do this compatibility check once like that? And he was said, no, I'm very happy, Prabhu, to take the instructions of Guru Maharaj like that. He said, and my daughter, of course, was most happy also. So then they filled it up, and then I compared both, and then I wrote back to Guru Maharaj saying that Guru Maharaj, this is being done. I find 80% or whatever compatibility is there. For the balance, they will take counseling from me and other senior devotees like that. Then Guru Maharaj then writes to, because my son-in-law had also written taking permission from him, because my daughter is also initiated by Guru Maharaj. So he wrote seeking permission that I want to marry your disciple like this. Then he writes back to my son-in-law saying, kindly accept my apologies, because there was a delay. There was almost 3 weeks or 4 weeks delay in all of this process that, because of my not doing the homework properly, Guru Maharaj had to correct me and then do this whole process. And then he writes saying, kindly accept my apologies for the delay in writing. Can you imagine? It's my fault. That otherwise he could have simply written, yes, my blessings to you too. In that way, he could have written to him as well, but he didn't write like that. He said, my apologies. And then he writes to him further saying that I heard from Vidura Madhava that, you have compatibilities like this, and that, you both will take further counseling if required from him and other senior disciples. It's a kind of intricate thinking he has. It's not just, okay, it's a formality. No, he goes by every small, minute details within that. That for someone who's just not any of his memory recall disciple, right? Someone down the line who has not done anything for him. Just imagine the kind of mercy that he's giving. So that was one I thought I can share. Is there anything else which I missed out? I think with that maybe we will. I will conclude here. Is that okay, Prabhu?
Sure, Prabhu. I was just being greedy.
Guru Maharaj Katha nectar is so wonderful. You are so happy to hear anytime Guru Maharaj's pastimes are being shared.
Yes. Would any devotees have any question? You can either ask Prabhu or you can put it on the chat. I think everyone are immersing themselves in the pastimes of Guru Maharaj. They don't have any questions. Prabhu, if you permit, we all could chant one round for Guru Maharaj.
Sure, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
Thank you for
for
tolerating.
sharing the pastimes and making us all feel that Guru Maharaj is looking up to all of us. So thank you for that. And so nicely you have linked all the pastimes with the family, your extended family, everyone. Yeah. So if you can kindly lead the chanting, that will be.
Sure.
We also have many senior God brothers on the call, Vibha Prabhu, Keshav God.
My humble pranams to all of you, all of the devotees who are there. Sometimes you feel like I'm the worst rascal, but then I remember Guru Maharaj saying that sometime he had his conversation with Prabhupada and he said, "You are you are not the greatest of anything." So in that sense, I can't even call myself the greatest rascal, because he said Krishna is actually greatest in everything. So you are not anything. So once Prabhupada told Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj like that, don't think you are greatest in anything. So in that sense, I'm calling myself short of that. But all of you are all such wonderful disciples and well-wishers of Guru Maharaj. So please bear with me and bless me. Just that, please bless me that I am able to follow Guru Maharaj without looking at myself. Just act on his behalf in every aspect of it, because that's the only way we can. In fact, there is some aspect which I just wanted to also speak, but again, I remember, like, how is he able to do this? How is he able to do this? Is because he's connected to the top, because of which he is able to connect to the bottom. This is something which I wanted to say. Somehow I think the core of the discussion, I missed it. I'm sorry. I'll take a minute. Basically, he's so clearly connected with Srila Prabhupada. If you remember that I wrote an email to Prabhupada, and then Guru Maharaj comes running in that condition to give initiation. So that's the kind of connection Guru Maharaj has with the parampara, and because of which he is able to actually give that, like, we talk about this transparent via media, right? This is a practical example, and therefore he is able to pass it on to us like this. And there is not one Q&A where Guru Maharaj will answer independently, right? In his own capacity as a sannyasi who's been there for 50, 60, 50 years plus of sannyas life, and as a devotee even more, he can give his recommendation or his answers by himself. Like if I go on in a Q&A, he will say, "Okay, Guru Maharaj, I have a challenge in chanting, how to manage Vaishnava Aparadha," all this. Guru Maharaj immediately does not answer just like, "No, this is my view." He says, once something happened like this and Prabhupada said like this. See, so he is completely attached to Prabhupada. It's not that, he doesn't want to be independent of Prabhupada. So that kind of thing, at least I am seeking blessings that all of you give me, that I don't act independently, but I'm always holding on to the lotus feet of our spiritual master, Jayapataka Swami. Thank you very much. Should we start?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Am I audible? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Vibha Prabhu.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Please accept my respectful obeisances, Prabhu. Very, very inspiring. I mean, it was, like your heart was pouring out very sincerely. Your whole narration, how you have connected with Guru Maharaj and how you're able to give Guru Maharaj now. I'm just telling you, it's very inspiring. Yeah.
Blessings of senior devotees like you, Prabhu.
No, you are blessed. You are blessed by Guru Maharaj.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Prabhu, would you like to lead the chanting for Guru Maharaj?
Yes, Prabhu. Vibhav Krishna Prabhu can.
Yes.
You want me to lead the chanting?
Would you please?
It'll be an honor.
Thank you, Prabhu.
To lead chanting for Guru Maharaj. Let me get my beads. So in this forum, I suppose we are allowed to chant Guru Maharaj's Pranam Mantra also?
Yes, Prabhu. Because it's a JSSS group.
Okay, thank you. Namam Vishnubadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swami Niti Namine Namacharya Padaya Nitai Kipapradayane Gaura Katha Thamadai Nagara Grama Tarini Namam Vishnubadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunnavadi Paschata Desha Tarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Prabhu. Thank you for
to chant for Guru Maharaj. It was an honor.
Yeah, you leading all of us. That was very nice. Thank you, Prabhu. We are waiting to hear from you someday. I'm waiting for your time.
I don't know when that day will come.
I'll reach out to you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Vidura Madhava Prabhu again. Shri Gurudev ki jai.
Jai.
Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Bhakti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Samaved
Jai.
Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.
Jai.
Please join us again next week, same time, to hear glorification of Guru Maharaj. Thank you again.
Hare Krishna.